someone to fill in for him and pick up Sean Payton's offense as quickly as they would need to. The thing to watch, does Taysom Hill get cleared from concussion protocol in time to start this week's game, or do they have to go with Trevor Siemian, who was outstanding in relief on Sunday, but is, of course, a backup for a reason? And then in the wake of the Derrick Henry injury, significant injury to one of the best players in the league, one of the most important players in the league, the Titans have signed Adrian Peterson. Yes, Adrian Peterson, that guy, same guy, 36-year-old former National League Football League MVP. He is in the mix, from what I understand. They want to go running back by committee to replace Derrick Henry. They believe Adrian Peterson is in good enough shape that he could play very soon, possibly as soon as this Sunday.
Yeah, and to sort of coin a popular phrase, they're not replacing Derrick Henry. This guy, whoever it is following Derrick Henry. Nobody replaces Derrick Henry. What a terrible injury. We were just talking about at the desk. The entire NFL was deflated by the loss of Derrick Henry, one way or the other. Let's go to Cleveland, where the Browns, it's been a deflating start to their season. They are currently 4th in the AFC North, and there are only 4 teams. They scored only 10 points in their loss to Pittsburgh on Sunday. Here's their coach, Kevin Stefanski, talking about what is ailing his usually potent offense.
We missed some opportunities is probably the easiest way of putting it. And that's where I need to do a better job. I got to put guys in position to go make a play. And there were some drops yesterday. That's uncharacteristic. We got to take care of it. We got to address it. We got to practice it, but we absolutely have to be better.
All right, so the offense hasn't been anywhere near what we expected it to be or they wanted it to be. Quarterbacks always get the credit and the blame. How much of this is on the quarterback?
Zero, in my opinion. Baker Mayfield's given them enough to win, man. Listen, especially Sunday. You talking about, 25%?
Zero is outrageous.
Zero's crazy. I'm with you. All right, 25%. But listen, this defense, in my opinion, is more to blame. Like when you have injuries they've had and the inconsistency of players being able to get out on the field, like your defense has to show up. They're 25th in third downs and 26th in the red zone. Listen, when one part of your team is struggling because of injuries or guys not being able to make it out there, somebody else has to step up. When you saw the Browns defense laid out on their roster preseason, everybody thought this would be a dominating group that could get them some wins. And again, just haven't given them enough to get over the top.
Marcus, how much of this is on the quarterback?
A lot of it.
No,
we put a lot on all of the other quarterbacks when they lose it. So I'm gonna put the same energy towards Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he making plays, he made throws, and obviously Jarvis had the 2 drops and a fumble, but they scored 10 points. And I'm going to put that on the quarterback. I'm going to put that on playmakers, the guys that has the ball in his hands every single snap. And listen, this is about the Cleveland Browns in context of being the team we thought they should be. This is not just about one game. When you look at this team, it's always something. It's 40 points given up to the Los Angeles Chargers. It's an in-game interception from Baker Mayfield against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's no run game. Nick Chubb had 14 yards on one run, and he ended the day with 61 total yards rushing. So they didn't run it well. They've had that part of the season. Obviously, injuries. Odell Beckham Jr. got 1 target yesterday. Okay, I don't understand how you go through a game with 1 target with Odell Beckham Jr. The second thing is this, man. When we talk about teams and we talk about them winning and have an opportunity to win championships or go into playoffs, we focus squarely on the quarterback. And we looking at a team scored 10 points, and we saying Baker Mayfield don't deserve a lot of the credit.
Let me channel my best, Giselle. My husband can't throw it and catch it, and neither can Baker Mayfield. Hey, listen here. OBJ got targeted one time. I get it. The other time, he's got an easy touchdown. He goes up with one hand. They get a penalty to bail him out. You got to catch the ball.
Who's right?
Okay, Giselle. You can't have it both ways. You can't talk about the course of the season and blame the defense, and then when you want to talk about Baker, you only want to talk about the mistakes that happened yesterday. So yeah, yesterday was okay for Baker. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. You can't blame Baker, but it was outstanding for the defense.
I got you.
However, through the course of the entire season, Baker has been up and down at best.
Who's right here?
Well, I think there is blame to go around. I think I'd put it a little higher than 25%. I'm not sure I'd go to where Marcus is, but look, I mean, everything's been a mess there. I mean, they've had they have had injuries to Chubb and to Hunt. The offensive line's been banged up.
Yeah,
their center's been in and out. We know how important a position that is.
Most
right?
important.
Exactly.
Let me ask one question. Can I ask a question? You know your buddies Peyton and Eli who are on TV on Monday night, Jeff Saturday.
Yes.
And their combined careers, how many tackles did they make?
That would be a 0.
That would be a 0. throw. That's the mistake Baker Mayfield made. And I go all the way back to the beginning of the season when he threw an interception and he tried to make a tackle. And frankly, I'm not even sure I would call what he did making a tackle. It looked like I would look if I was trying to make a tackle. And he got himself hurt. And that is a mistake. Tom Brady threw a pick the other day, and he just sort of stood there with his hands up. This was Baker Mayfield trying to show her, and he's a tough guy. But you know what, Jeff? You said it in the meeting today. He's not a football player. He's a quarterback.
Exactly.
That was, to me, that's the mistake.
You are 100% right. And here's the deal. Eli Manning on the Manning cast said, "I've never played another position of football except quarterback. I've only worn one number. I don't know how to block, tackle, run. I do one thing. Baker, maybe do one thing, bro. That's all you got to do. You are not a defensive player." Boswell learned from the Steelers how quickly the game changes.
Their season has not been the same since that moment, and it won't be.
Absolutely not. And injuries are a big part of the reason, including the one he's trying to play
keep this in perspective. Keep this in perspective. We watched Cooper Rush go on the road and win a game.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield and the Browns couldn't beat the Steelers after scoring 15 points.
All right, we have more to do on that. Obviously, we have some disagreement here, and we'll come back to it. But he mentioned Dallas. We're going there next because the D in Big D stands for Dak and for decision. Should he sit another week? Marcus has a very strong opinion on that question, and you'll hear it next.